Pilates. Thanks for joining me again today. I'm offering a quick morning stretch routine. We'll get you started off on the right foot by alleviating tension from the body and any soreness or stiffness that might have developed overnight during sleep. You don't have to sit cross-legged, but this is how I'm comfortable, so this is how I'll be demonstrating. You can sit in whatever way feels best for you and your body. So we'll start with the neck and the shoulders. We'll drop your right ear to your right shoulder. And if that feels good and you want to intensify the stretch, you can press your opposite hand, your left hand, into the floor next to you. And this should help to enhance the stretch down the side of the neck and the top of the shoulder. We'll bring this over to the other side, the left ear to the left shoulder, maybe the right hand into the floor, it's up to you. Bring the head to center. We'll next open up the front part of the shoulder. So we'll twist to your left and sink your right shoulder over your left knee. So it should feel like you're kissing the inside of your shoulder to the inside of your opposite knee. So it tends to be best if you leave your hands right where they are on the knees. And what we're looking for is a stretching sensation right where your shoulder hooks onto the chest. So the pectoral area. We'll bring this over to the other side, left shoulder over right knee. And bring it up back to center. We'll next take some rotations through the shoulders, and if you find that over the head movement doesn't work for you, you can always bring the arms around in front instead, and that's a perfectly good alternative. So we're going to inhale the arms up overhead from the sides, lifting the ribs away from the hips, gathering all that you seek, exhaling, pulling down from heaven whatever you need into the heart center. We'll take two more of those. So I'll inhale the arms up overhead from the sides. Exhale, bring it down. Last one. We're going to stick our feet straight out in front and circle the ankles. So you point and flex your feet as much as you can as you are drawing as big a circle in the air as you can with your toes. Good. Now we'll pull the toes back toward the face and push out with the heel. And for some of us, this is enough of a stretch. We don't need to go any further. Some of us might like to take the arms as far forward as we can. You might be able to bring your hands to your toes or your fingers to your toes, and that's wonderful. It's just not necessary. That pulling of the toes back toward the face is the basis of the stretch. Once you get where you're going, if you'll just relax and let your head dangle, gravity and body weight will help you do most of the stretch. All you have to do is just relax and breathe. Good, and we'll roll the shoulders back over the hips, and now we're going to take the feet out wide. For some of us, it's more comfortable and more stable feeling to take the hands behind the hips and lift up with the chest and the chin. And for others, it's more comfortable to walk yourself as far forward as you comfortably can. And it doesn't matter which direction you go or how far you go, we just want a little stretch in the inner thighs. So now we're going to stretch out the QLs, and the QLs are some spinal erector muscles that pull your shoulders over your hips. You're going to be using them when you get out of bed, so we'll say hello to them. Take your hands to either side of your right thigh, and you'll roll your forehead down in the general direction of your right knee. You'll leave your left sitting bone on the floor. It kind of wants to come with you, And if you leave it down right where it is, that'll help to isolate the stretch. So as far or as not far as you can go. And you should notice on the left side of your spine a stretch sensation from about the bottom of your rib to the top of your hip. We'll take this over to the left. Same thing here, you might find that one of your sides feels a little more cooperative than the other, and that's pretty normal. Shoulders over the hips. If you're ready, we'll come into all fours on hands and knees. And if you're not ready, if you're still in bed, you can just pull the knees into the chest and spend a few moments there and be on your way. But if you're ready, you can come to the floor into all fours on hands and knees. Once you get to all fours, you might find that being on the palms of the hands is not comfortable for you. You might need to curl your knuckles under and be on the flat parts of your knuckles, or it might even be better for you to be on your forearms. Whatever works for you. We'll get some movement in the spine with cat and cow. We'll inhale, drop the belly as low to the ground as you can and arch your back. It should feel like you're making a U shape with your spine. Then you'll tuck the tailbone, slurp the belly button up as far away from the floor as you can, round out through your shoulders, drop your head and make something of a C shape with your back. And just at your own pace and range of motion, you'll drop the belly and then lift the belly. And we'll bring the spine back to neutral. The next thing we'll do is open up your hip flexors, and specifically the psoas muscle that's on the front of the hip. You'll step your right foot forward, and some people will like to walk their hands and hips forward. Some people feel like it's easier for them to scoot their left knee back. Either way, you want your left hip out in front of your left knee, so you feel the stretch on the front of your left hip. And I'm wide through the hips, so I have both of my hands on the inside of my right foot. If you have narrower hips, you might have your foot between your hands, and so whatever's comfortable for you, again, here is fine. And we'll step it back and change sides. You step that left foot forward, maybe walk the hands and the hips forward, or scoot your right knee back. Just pressing down and forward with your hips so you get as much stretch in the front of this leg as you can. And we'll step back to all fours. So here we're going to take 3 variations of downward facing dog, and you can either take all 3 or you can stop where it's necessary for you. For my friends who have vestibular issues such as vertigo or Meniere's, you won't want to be in an inversion, so you'll take extended puppy. We'll bring the palms out away from you, drop your chest and chin to the floor, pulling in opposite directions with your fingertips and your sitting bones. You get a nice little traction and length in the spine here, and you're welcome to stay here. If you want more and you have some carpal tunnel issues, you might be best served in dolphin. This is also true if you have rotator cuff problems. You'll bring your forearms to the floor, interlace your fingers, curl your toes under, straighten your knees, and push your body weight back to your heels. And so you're pulling up and back with your belly button, sinking your body weight back towards your heels, and letting the ears rest between the elbows. You can stay right here in dolphin, or you can come up to downward facing dog. Just put the palms of the hands where the elbows just were. Squeeze in with your elbows, pull the shoulders down away from the ears, and you're sort of pressing your sitting bones toward the ceiling. If you're ready to begin your morning, you can just slowly walk the feet to the hands. Let the head relax. You let the whole back part of the neck relax so that you're not looking up, you're looking out between the knees. And the weight sort of forward in the ball of your foot, because if the weight is in your heels, there's a tendency to lock out through your knees. So bring your weight forward and keep the knees soft. You can also grab opposite elbows and kind of swing side to side like an elephant's trunk. I'm going to come back to sitting, but if you're ready to come up to standing, you will bend the knees, tuck your tailbone, and roll your spine to standing one by one, and the head would be the last thing to stack back on top. But I'm coming back to seated so that I can wish you a good morning and a good day. Thanks for playing yoga with me again. Rock out with your core count.